They say the new year is a time for fresh starts. But imagine your fresh start begins with getting dumped, exactly 10 minutes after the countdown ends. Today I found two shocking stories about relationships falling apart in the first days of 2026. In one story, a guy hallucinates problems that don't exist. In the other, a jealous ex creates a problem that becomes reality. Let's get into it.
I started dating my boyfriend, who I met on Bumble 2 months ago. Everything was going well. There have been fights, but usually constructive, and we always came up with solutions. I spent both Thanksgiving and Christmas with his family. His parents really liked me, and he was intentional about getting me and his parents to know each other better. He took me to his work event, introduced me to his coworkers. I even started hanging out with his coworker. The relationship has been pretty serious, I'd say. Fast forward, we decided to go to Kansas City for New Year's Eve and spend a few days in the area. On New Year's Eve, everything was closed or closing earlier, so we had many unfulfilled things on the list: food, museums, activities, bars. At around 7 p.m., I was pretty annoyed and sad that we did not plan ahead. I stood on the sidewalk for like 1 minute to calm down, and then the night proceeded. No big deal, I thought. But this morning, his attitude towards me in bed was very cold. This might be TMI, but we have been having trouble finding protection that fits him without hurting or completely ruining the mood. I was the only one to care to bring some to the trip, despite asking him to buy more weeks ago. It felt one-sided. When I asked him why he was avoiding me, he said, "All right, I plan to say this after the trip, but I have many concerns of our relationship." He told me he made up his mind to leave me right before meeting up with me to drive to KC, but he wanted to tell me after the trip so we could still have a good time. To sum it up, he told me he couldn't stand that if anything doesn't go your way, you get upset. And he said, "You are unhappy when I enjoy my own hobbies alone." I felt like these are both false accusations. First, I was not blaming him. I was purely frustrated at what happened on New Year's Eve, and it's not like I was unhappy for a very long time. Second, I didn't have much else to do at his place when he decided to play video games or watch football. I had to drive quite some time to my gym just to do something in the meantime. We have actually talked about this before, and I told him to let me know sooner so I can plan ahead what I can do while he is doing his own things. Also, I thought the holiday season was meant to be spending time with each other, since we both have busy jobs and can't see each other often after the holiday season is over. He told me he felt really stressed having to spend a long period of time with me, and he is not ready to live with someone. But we are just into the relationship, and there are no plans or pressure to move in together anytime soon. I feel like he is not giving this relationship a fair chance, and he is not telling me the real reason of the breakup. We canceled the rest of the trip and headed back after that. That 2.5-hour drive in silence felt like 25 hours. I am still confused and don't know how to handle this situation. It feels like all his concerns are fixable, but he just wanted to call it quits. The only silver lining is he told me this morning I was the greatest communicator he dated by far, and he admired that. Still got abandoned, but I hope to meet a better communicator in the future.
Wow. Dragging her on a trip just to dump her? User B1020 kept it real in the comments. He didn't appear to be all that thrilled with you anyway. Just chalk this up to 2 months wasted, lessons learned, and move on. Brutal, but true. If that guy was bad, wait until you hear about this next one. This is a story about a boyfriend whose insecurity was so bad, it actually created the cheating scandal he was afraid of.
I dated a guy for over a year on and off. Things were amazing at first, and I was his first girlfriend. But for over a year, our arguments kept happening like a light switch being turned on and off. The main reason of it was because he wanted to meet my parents, and I told him I wasn't ready yet. I told him if they knew about us, they would make me break up with him. I have very strict parents, and he had religious, supportive parents, so he always never understood why I couldn't tell my parents. The best way I can describe the complete difference in our parents is he eats with them at the dinner table and watches movies together, acts out fun road trips, and has well-off money. I feared if there would be enough food sometimes. And if you were to ask my parents my favorite color or my favorite subject, they would get it wrong. I have never eaten with them, and I can't remember the last time our road trips weren't complete silence or the sound of my parents screaming. This made things really difficult. I tried for a while to get him to understand. I even tried saying, I will mention you a few times and we can plan something for my birthday. But if you have strict parents, you know they judge your friends or anyone, and you would understand why I'm scared to introduce him. During the summer, I bumped into an old friend from middle school. Let's call him Jay. We had the same summer school class. Once the first day was over, I called my boyfriend and told him about the middle school friend, and he said he was so happy for me that I'm connecting with old friends again. I thought that would be the end of it. But one day I was at the bus stop with Jay, and I saw drawings on his hand. I lightly grabbed his wrist and told him the drawings looked cool, and asked why he drew lines on the palm of his hand. He told me he was just bored, and we started talking about hand readings. I mentioned I used to do it with an old friend group, and he laughed and called me a witch. Earlier that same day, I was hanging out with one of my girl best friends, and I saw 7 missed calls from my boyfriend and 15 texts. I answered the call, and he said he needed to know exactly what happened at the bus stop with the middle school friend. Apparently, his cousin was at the bus stop and said I was cheating on him, laughing and locking hands together with another guy. We went back and forth and didn't talk for the rest of the night. Ever since then, even though I gave my boyfriend Jay's number and described in perfect detail what happened throughout the day, he didn't forgive me until 2 days later, but didn't trust the friend. I tried to be understanding and told him I promise nothing is going on, and this is the second friend I've had where you don't trust them, and I need you to tell me why. He ends up saying, I am an attractive person, and I am a pile of shit that's lazy, so it's clear a lot of guys would want you. He ended up giving me an ultimatum to choose, and I chose the boyfriend for a while until things got worse. After a bad breakup we had, he begged me to stay with him, but we had to keep it a secret from everyone, because if his sister found out, we would be dead. I tried hiding it for 3 months until I started realizing he was lying to me and breaking clear boundaries we set up in the beginning of our relationship. I started to lose feelings and broke it off on text. I went back to Jay and told him the truth. But the ex-boyfriend was kinda right about the middle school guy. He did like me, but he didn't try anything and backed off when I told him to. My friend said I should go on a date with Jay, and surprisingly, it went way better than I expected. 1 date turned to 6, and then we made it official. The problem is, the ex-boyfriend knows now because of stalking my socials. One thing I want to say is I never did anything with Jay before the breakup. I know moving fast into another relationship is wrong, but am I the asshole?
The comments on this one were spicy. User Aramid wrote, "You can leave anyone for any reason, but dating the guy he shouldn't have been worried about? That is not a good look." But honestly, her ex called himself a pile of shit. He told her exactly who he was. She just finally listened. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.